Ford Motor Company has made an amazing vehicle with the new Mustang GTD, but unfortunately, the world that we live in, there's counterfeits everywhere. In fact, there's already a couple of different companies that are attempting or actually making counterfeits of this new Mustang GTD, and one of them happens to be very public, an automotive YouTuber by the name of TJ Hunt. And to help us dissect the drama just a little bit more, let's take a look at one of his most recent videos.
Or this car has to head to SEMA in Las Vegas. This whole StreetHunter project from the very beginning, we knew we wanted to push all the boundaries with this car. We started this project about 3 months ago from the initial scanning of the car, and the whole intention of purchasing this Mustang was to create this project for StreetHunter. We've been doing StreetHunter now for 5 years, and I think after a certain point, you start to question yourself of if you can keep on pushing and finding your boundaries.
So stopping for just a second, StreetHunter makes some amazing body kits, as you can see with this vehicle and the vehicle right before that. So this is not a bash session on TJ or on StreetHunter. In fact, I actually like a lot of their products.
And limits to deliver that wow factor. We've had the car in our hands now for a little over 72 hours, and the car is in shambles. We never planned for it to be this last minute because it never really is. It takes many, many people and countless hours to try to pull off assembling something in a 72-hour period, days before it's supposed to be revealed to the world.
As a side note, do you know how much guts it takes to cut into a perfectly good rear fender? A lot.
This is still a prototype car. We just made one version of everything. And these pieces are versions of OEM bumpers, OEM clips, OEM things with...
Did you just hear that? He said he's made one of everything. Sounds like he's trying to maybe keep himself out of some legal trouble by saying, I've only made one of them. I haven't made thousands of them yet. But the other thing he just admitted is he said that this is an OEM version of the bumper, an OEM version of this. It sounds like he's actually admitting something pretty serious in just a second. Let's wait until you actually see the finished product.
With our skin on top of it. And how it normally goes is we'd make our prototype, build the whole entire car. Once it looks good, the fitment is good, and all the boxes get checked of all of our quality control, then we'll move forward and make our final molds, add our carbon fiber, add different reinforcements, and make a final piece that is sold to our customers. So with that, it has a lot of drawbacks. Not everything is gonna be perfect right now. We're working with something that isn't 100% ready, and it really just makes every hour count. Getting into the last chapter of getting this car ready and on its path to SEMA, I got a letter in the mail. This letter was from a certain auto manufacturer that point blank didn't like what we were doing. In certain ways, they felt offended and disrespected and basically said they're trying to put a stop to this car to even being at SEMA and ultimately never seeing the light of day for any customers out there.
Okay, so let's talk about that for just a quick second. I think it's safe to say that this is Ford Motor Company he's talking about. Who else could it have been? He's doing a very good job of making sure that he doesn't get sued in addition to this, but it sounds like Ford has sent him a cease and desist letter, which actually makes a whole lot of sense if you're making a product that is maybe too similar to something that is currently out or is about to be out.
A lot of mixed feelings about this in the first 24 hours after receiving that letter, especially because we were so close to getting this on the way to SEMA and revealing it to everyone that it felt wrong. The way it was handled felt wrong, but it took me a while to really understand their perspective, and I respect that. I absolutely do, but I also respect the fact that there are so many key differences on what we did, and I think seeing it in person really allows you to see that, and it's something that is currently ongoing. And as the moment I'm filming this video, I don't even know if the car is even going to be allowed into SEMA. We are currently in contact with them, and we had a conversation this morning that actually went pretty well, I would say. And it seems that they are willing to work with us to a certain extent in giving it the okay for this car to actually be produced and have kits made so customers out there could enjoy what we've spent so much time and money on. But there's also a harsh reality to that. If we don't find a middle ground, StreetHunter has just wasted way more than what it cost just to purchase this Mustang to begin with.
The thing is, Ford Motor Company is a very reasonable company. Yes, they're a very large OEM manufacturer, and yes, they have to protect their interests. And although I've never gotten a cease and desist and I've never been in legal issues with Ford Motor Company, I know so many people that work at the motor company, and by and large, they are very fair and reasonable people. And so it's kind of nice to see that at least TJ is admitting that Ford is not just trying to come down with an absolute Thor's hammer to just shut the whole thing down. But the other thing that you need to think about is, what if you were a Mustang GTD allocation holder like we are? I've actually got one on order right now. I haven't placed the spec yet, but I think what TJ has produced here is an absolutely amazing body kit. The problem is that what does that do to the other people who have got a real one on order and is about to spend $300,000 or $400,000 for that particular kit? I mean, it's no different than these designer handbags. Why would anybody pay that much money for a designer handbag? But people do. And when you have artificial or fakes come into the marketplace, that can affect the overall value of the real bags or the real cars. And by the way, I understand a Mustang GTD has completely different underpinnings than this Mustang GT with a GTD body kit. But anyways, let's keep moving on.
For nothing. Ultimately, we are a small business, and you can't necessarily fight big major corporate companies like that. It just doesn't work. So it's terrifying. But we're hopeful to find a middle ground, and that's all we can do at this moment. But the show goes on.
So this is the first look we're getting at the body kit, especially those front fenders put onto this particular vehicle. Once again, body kit looks absolutely sick. That looks so good.
What do you want to do?
Damn.
Okay, I got you.
The first time it's moving.
It has been such a journey, but to see the car for the first time in person is actually an unreal experience. Despite everything that happened, we're headed to Vegas, baby!
Let's go, baby!
So take a look at this. Those fenders right there, that is a direct copy off of the Mustang GTD. Now, the rear quarter panels do look a little bit different. That's simply because it's one big, basically structure. And so what they did is they put a fiberglass overlay, a wide body kit, and then they've got the scoop that is, put into there. I don't think that scoop is actually going to do anything on this particular car, whereas on the Mustang GTD, it's actually there to cool down a couple of different things, because you also have these scoops. By the way, notice that they've also got a replica of the trunk. And so from what it looks like, a direct replica, you've got the trunk lid, or I forgot what Ford is calling it with the Mustang GTD, because there is no actual trunk on the Mustang GTD. But you've got the trunk lid, you've got these side scoops, and then you've also got the side fenders as well as the whole front bumper. Most of the major components look to be a direct ripoff of the Mustang GTD.
And then I received an email from SEMA. I literally just got this email as we're getting into Vegas, and it essentially says that the auto manufacturer sent a formal complaint to the board and that the Mustang is banned from being at SEMA this year.
I think that was the right call, SEMA. I don't know if Ford pressured you guys into doing that, but quite frankly, this car is just too similar to the Mustang GTD to be allowed to be actually in the show or even sold at all. And I'm going to cover some ideas on what he could do differently to make that body kit viable. Once again, not a legal professional by any means. I'm just saying that I'd like to provide some of my personal feedback on what I think would look the best and also not get him sued into oblivion.
Pretty upset because there was still a fighting chance that we were going to make it, and honestly, like, I thought it would pull through. But if we can't show the car on display, we might as well go use it.
Look at that front end. That thing is absolutely gorgeous. Once again, it looks just like a Mustang GTD, but if it wasn't for the whole, legal aspect of it, this would be a killer body kit. Let's pause right here to kind of give you my opinions on what he could have done differently to keep from getting sued. Once again, not a legal opinion, just something that I want to provide some little feedback to. So I think the very first thing is these fenders are a direct copy of what is off of the Mustang GTD. That's like the Halo series, the Halo feature of that car. And if you would just change that up into a completely different style, it would go a long way. Now, I'm not saying that you need to get rid of those, but man, if you would just have them, in a different location, or just, not having this little Florida panhandle look to it, that would fix a whole lot of what's going on with the overall issue with the body kit. Also, the same where this little piece kicks up right here, and then this lower piece, that screams Mustang GTD all day long, as well as the hood too. I mean, really, the whole front end of this vehicle is a direct copy of that car. So I love what TJ puts out there. I love his videos. I love his companies, but this is just a direct copy, in my opinion. I think that you can still do something awesome with this car, but this body kit, it just ain't it. And props to Ford Motor Company for actually standing up for what they believe. They created a hell of a car with that Mustang GTD. And if they have an issue with someone bringing something too similar to the table, they should have the right to go chase that person. My personal opinion. Now, there's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from a Mustang GTD, but if somebody's going to copy your intellectual property, you should be able to go after them. It does look like the rear end of the vehicle is a little bit different than the GTD. You can see the lower skirts down here. That does look different than the Mustang GTD, but having those humps in the deck lid, that really is just, once again, another copy paste. And there you go. That is my breakdown of the whole drama between Ford Motor Company and TJ Hunt. Once again, no ill will with either one of these people. I just really wanted to kind of chime in and give my perspective on the whole drama going there, since we are the Ford experts. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know down in the comments if you think I'm absolutely crazy, or let me know if you think Ford should or should not have the ability to go after TJ in this particular situation. Thanks so much for watching the video. Have a great day. Peace.